Judith Hansen-Lasseter, also known as Mama. Welcome.
Welcome to you, Lizzie.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I'm not calling you old, but you have been practicing yoga for 52 years and you're in your 70s, 70 plus X. So I'd love to know what thoughts or advice you have for your younger yoga self. What do you wish you had done more or less of on the mat, on or off the mat, in terms of your practice in your 50s, 40s, 30s, where some of us are who are listening to you now?
Well, I'm not a person with a lot of regrets because I know from this vantage point that everything that I chose and everything that happened from the outside events around me, all of that, gains, losses, things I wanted, things I didn't, all contributed to weaving into the cloth of this moment. And I would not be here in this moment talking to you, being who I am and you being who you are, if I started to have the power to go back and change it. So, but what I've noticed that I hope you can hear with your heart is that whatever stage you are in your evolution, be there. Don't be always judging, or notice when you're always judging, like, well, this is just asana, now I need to do this, or I should do more of that. Be radically present with what you are practicing as your yoga. Because the radically present part is the yoga. The other part is an epiphenomenon. It's a technique. I like to say about asana, for example, that Trikonasana is not the yoga, it's the residue it leaves in your nervous system. It's the presence that it leaves or allows to happen. So definitely know also that you're going to be drawn to maybe a different system, maybe more to restorative yoga or more pranayama or meditation. Allow yourself to adapt. And flexibility, everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to do yoga so I'll get flexible. But we can become rigid in that pursuit. So allow yourself to adapt to your life, your body, the changes that happen. And just remember that the yoga lives already in you. If we're practicing our yoga to move from point A to B, we want to transform into something better, even the hint of that thought, or different, or more spiritual, we will never get there. The transformation occurs now, not in the future. And it occurs when we pay attention to the silence behind thought, whatever the outer body is doing. Transformation is in the present, never in the future.
Oh, that is so remarkable that you say it. And it's funny that you're saying this today, because this morning at sort of 7:05, I was on this yoga mat with my 2.5-year-old twins in here running around. So I did maybe 15, 17, 18 minutes of practice this morning, but very staccato and interrupted. And there was a voice or a part of me that was thinking, like, later in the morning when they were at kindergarten, like, oh, did that really count? Was that real yoga? Maybe I should get back on the mat. Maybe I didn't, like, that wasn't enough practice this morning. As opposed to what I hear you saying is inviting myself to accept, like, this is the stage that I'm in. I'm in a stage where I might be doing dog pose with one toddler here and one toddler here.
Yes, Lizzie, which voice in your head was asking that question? You don't have to answer. I'm guessing having been in that position, literally and figuratively, speaking of dog pose, is that it's the voice from somewhere else. It's the should voice. It's the thinking voice. It's the ego voice. It's the fear of not doing enough ever in your life. Somehow you need to perform your asanas like you perform your other duties. And because the silent space in the center of your brain, when we get to that silence, that there is no judgment there. There's no, that was a good practice, that was a bad practice. There's just presence, empathy, and compassion. So judging voice is coming from a part of you that's not the deepest. So I'm not telling you or anyone not to have that voice. What the practice is about is not getting rid of it, surgically removing it, repressing it. What the practice is about, the wider practice of yoga, is about noticing it fully. And if you do that right now, hold that thought, just notice that thought, you will be present. And you will be present with the thought, not at the mercy of it. And then it will begin to change. Transformation lives in the present moment. It's the only place it lives.
So good.
Namaste and love.
Namaste and love. Thank you so much for being here with us.